Hello,
Hello,
good evening.
good evening.
It's echoing, yeah? Is it my voice? It's okay? Everything
Yes.
okay? Yeah, okay. Good evening. I think good morning to Mr. Pablo in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and good evening to Hoye from Argentina Embassy under the commercial section. Yeah. So I think we are 5 minutes late. They will try to put it together at the virtual hall. Let's get back to the subject matter. I think we would like to introduce Mr. Hoe to introduce a bit more about Argentina with Malaysia. Then we start with that first. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Halim. I'll share my screen if you allow me. Um, a brief presentation uh, about Argentina. Can you see it?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
As you can see, Argentina is very far away from Malaysia, from Southeast Asia. We are on the other side of the world, Southern Hemisphere to the west. Argentina is very close to Antarctica in the south of South America. Uh, but it's my pleasure to take you there and speak a little bit about my country. Always my pleasure. So Argentina right now it's over 40 million inhabitants, a bit more than Malaysia. Last week we actually had a census, and it is estimated that right now we are actually over 47 million inhabitants. So it's getting a bit more of Argentinians in the world. We speak Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo están? Uh,
Buenos dias. Yes.
yeah, that's right. You got it right, Abdul Halim. Um, but most people, I would say not most, but many people in the big cities still speak English.
Hmm.
Not many speak Bahasa Melayu, unfortunately, but with English, you'll pretty go anywhere.
Okay.
Our currency is the peso, like other countries in Latin America, the Argentine peso, of course. With the ringgit, you can afford approximately about 47, 48 pesos for you to have an idea. We are Christians. Most of the Argentinians are Christian, Catholic Christians. And our political division is we have 23 provinces, which I'm going to speak a little bit about in the future slides, and the capital city, which you probably know, Buenos Aires. So these are the regions in Argentina. The provinces are inside the regions. We've divided the country in 6 regions, and I'm going to speak a little bit about each of them. And please don't get confused. There's a city called Buenos Aires, the main city of Argentina or capital city, but there's also this red province, which is also called Buenos Aires, and it's all around Buenos Aires. It's as if Kuala Lumpur and Selangor were called the same, but that's how it is. So Buenos Aires, this is a city I was talking about. Buenos Aires, as you can see, is a very cosmopolitan city. It has a very European vibe in the streets and in the building. North American standards, it's very European, I can say. It's a very big city way, and I hope there sometime. Around the city of Buenos Aires is the huge province of Buenos Aires, which is best known not probably for its beaches and the dances, but for the gauchos. In La Pampa, you can have you can imagine the gauchos, the barbecues there, the big ranch, and a lot of wheat, soy, different plantations around. Everything is green in the province of Buenos Aires, and it's full of farms pretty much everywhere. After Buenos Aires to the north, you have a region called Litoral. Litoral means between rivers. There are very big rivers around these provinces next to Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil. I think it's the region closest to Malaysia, if I can say. It has a similar weather. It's full of jungles, and and the food, and it has some similarities with Malaysia. Of course, the highlight of the region is the Iguazu Falls, a wonder of the nature world. It's very, very impressive. I've been there, fortunately, and the picture makes no honor to the place. And speaking of that, I think that more important than the picture itself, I think the Iguazu Falls, and then you're going to see the glacier. More than see it's very impressive, the sound. When you go there, there's that huge amount of water falling from so high, and the noise is so deafening that after a couple of minutes you stop hearing everything, and it turns out like a huge silence, like you can only
Acoustic.
silence in the back, and it's very, very, very impressive. On the opposite side of the littoral, to the south of the country, is the very famous Patagonia. Here you can have it in this greenish blue, and the glacier is down there to the right, down to the right. You also have the whales, well, a lot of snow and skiing. And the glacier, it's a similar experience somehow to the Iguazu Falls. The glacier, that place is extremely quiet. There aren't any cities in the nearby. As you can see, the distances from Buenos Aires, even by plane, are very far from the glaciers, but there aren't cities around, so it's full of silence. It's pretty much the opposite to the Iguazu Falls. It's just silence, and suddenly the glacier breaks, and it's this huge explosion that fills all the environment, and it's just out of this world. It's extremely impressive. Unfortunately, I haven't been to Perito Moreno, the big glacier, but I've seen many videos, and family and friends told me about it, and it's extremely impressive. Patagonia is also well known for its lakes and the mountains and the skiing and the snow. It's similar, let's say, to some regions in maybe Europe, Switzerland, some parts of Germany are the same. Mountains are not very high, but the weather is cold, and it's full of these huge forests and beautiful lakes, as you can see in the picture. And after Patagonia, we can go to Cuyo. Cuyo is to the west of Argentina, to the center west, let's say. There you have the huge mountains, like for example the one you see here to the right, down to the right, Mount Aconcagua, the tallest mountain in the Western Hemisphere, reaching almost 7,000 meters. But it's very dry. It's a very dry region. As you can see, the landscapes to the left, and it's very well known around the world, especially here in Malaysia, because of its wine. The Malbec wine is grown there, is harvested in this special season, and you can taste really, really good wines. Actually, I'm not a wine drinker, but I really love Mendoza and the Cuyo region, because it's full of trekking possibilities and also rafting. It has these very impressive rivers that go very fast between the mountains. So it's great for rafting, and also for mountain biking. It's very good. People are great in Mendoza and all around the Cuyo region. So it's probably one of my favorites of my country. After Cuyo, we go to the north, where I am from. I'm from Santiago del Estero province. Of course, I'm very proud about it, and I can say it's a wonderful region to visit in Argentina. You have these very beautiful mountains, and it's a mixture of these dry regions, as you can see, the salines down there, and the dry mountains. But there's also some jungle. We call it El Chaco. It has these beautiful jungles, but it's best known for its mountains that are not that high, but are very beautiful, with so many different colors. And the north is well known in Argentina, maybe echoing Melaka, perhaps in Malaysia. It's one of the oldest cities are there. My city is the oldest in Argentina. So that there's a full tradition of music, of stories, and all our folklore and culture. It's very strong there in Argentina. So I'm very proud of it. And finally, we have Cordoba in the center of the country, which is also well known for its cultural attractions and its religious attractions. It has many churches and estancias from the first Christians that came to Argentina. Somehow, maybe it's akin to Kelantan and Terengganu, perhaps in Malaysia. People are very proud. There's a lot of tourist attractions, and religion is very important, maybe in Cordoba. And I think that's it. I've shown you my country. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Abdul Halim, for
Thank
letting
you very
me.
much. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you
I'm
very
going.
much. Thank you very much, Mr. Hoye. I think from what you expressed, you are so passionate and comparatively you know very much about Malaysia as well. You have covered almost many states of Malaysia, Terengganu, Kelantan, and Malacca, and so forth. I think that's wonderful. I think I cannot. I hope I can see you tomorrow at the live in the hotel. I think there's a lot of things in common for us to talk about passion in this sector. I think almost the geographical part you had covered. Now it's Mr. Pablo. He's being a professor. I believe we had a short introduction yesterday. We
Yes,
had just a
exactly.
quick introduction. I understand that he's a lecturer, a professor in one university that teaches tourism. Am I right, Mr. Pablo?
Exactly, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
And now you are fully charged. You are 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning in Buenos Aires. And I believe if you can cover three things that I always close to my heart about tourism. One is about the people, then about the food, and thirdly is about the culture. These are the three elements that really I found that Argentina have to offer to this region, this side. People in Malaysia, they eat 24 hours. They have to know the food, and you have the best meat and the best wine. I think we got to bring Buenos Aires to. You cannot bring anything else. You got to bring Buenos Aires to Malaysia soon. And last but not least is the football. Buenos Aires is
Oh yeah,
yeah, football. I think there's one thing I think we forgotten. The whole world recently in Qatar there'll be a big football tournament World Cup, and it's already midway. We should be talking about football a bit more. We talk about football and having friendly matches within university. Don't have to talk about the professionals. I think that's very expensive. But I think we can bring in some loads of footballers to revive this region. Not about Malaysia. Malaysia is the hub. We have a couple of we can bring in Vietnam. We can bring in now the Sea Game is about to finish, about tomorrow I think. In the Sea Game is finishing in these few days in Hanoi, in Vietnam. So before the hosting of the next Sea Game, I think we should warm up on the football and the food. That's one thing that I like to do. I would like to pass this to Mr. Pablo to give
thank you.
your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good evening to everybody. Yes, here in Argentina is in the morning. We are at 9 a.m. So it's a pleasure for me to show my country and to tell you more about the specific things of the tourism. So thanks, Mr. Abdul. And I'm going to show you some PowerPoint. Let me check. Just one moment. Okay. Okay, it's here. Well,
Mhm.
can you see it? It's okay?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Yes.
perfectly. Well, how to promote Argentina? Well, as Jorge has told you, Argentina is a big country in South of America, in the South of America, exactly. You have to discover Argentina. Argentina, as we know, is a country with some European ancestry. The majority of the people are from European, but not only from Spain or Italy. We have a mix of different cultures, of the different nationality of immigrants. We have in the latest 90s, 200, like 300, 3 million, sorry, 3 million people coming from Europe. Uh, well, Argentina is nature. You have to see, you have to smell, you have to feel, to touch, listen to the silence or listen to the birds singing, discover the different places, explore our nature beauty, our history, of course, and our traditional cuisine. The barbecue, the beef, the meat is one of the best, I think, in the whole world. We also have the opportunity, because of the flight connections, to connect it with different neighborhood countries. So I think it can be a good trip. Buenos Aires is, as Jorge says, an European style, and it's also famous for tango. You have parks, culture, barbecue, and what else? Then you have the two more important destination and the heritage landscape, like Iguazu Falls and the Perito Moreno Glacier, as Jorge said. But we also have the whales in the Valdez Peninsula, or the Humahuaca Gorge or Canyon and the valleys. In all the country, we have excellent quality in hotels, in main city, from luxury to boutique hotels, and simple lodge also in different places. In the case of Bariloche, Bariloche is in Patagonia, and then I'm going to show you. It's the lake district, and is in front of the Nahuel Huapi Lake. And what is your passenger can do in Bariloche? Well, Bariloche is called like the little Switzerland. Is the landscape so natural, so beautiful, like Switzerland? And you have the Seven Lakes Road, and of course you can cross by lake. The lake crossing is a ship navigation to Chile and to see the Pacific Ocean. Then, in the last provinces of Patagonia, we can find Ushuaia. Ushuaia is the endless city of the world, is the door for Atlantic cruises, is small and a proud, enigmatic. There is an end of the world train that goes to the La Pataya National Park. Is the snow there? Well, world-class gastronomy, heritage of immigrants from all over the world. Of course, it also we combine it with another countries, and we can make some kind of MICE tourism. As we told, we have Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, the capital. This is the big city, and it's the city where all the planes, all the flights arrive. We have two airports, too many airports. One is Ezeiza, that is the international airport, where all the flights arrives, and then we have the domestic flight, that is Aeroparque. From Aeroparque, generally goes the flight from Iguazu, Bariloche, um, Calafate, and the other cities to visit. Buenos Aires, different style, the same city. As you can see on these pictures, you have this one is the Colons Theater, is one of the most important opera house. Then you have this that is very, very French style. We have some neighborhood like this, like it's very French. We have Obelisco, and this is like Broadway, exactly like Broadway in New York. And this is very Spanish style. So you can see all the different style, all the European style in the same city. The classic, you have a half day or a full day city tour that you can discover all the places in this city, different neighborhoods like La Boca, where is the passion of La Boca, the Bocas, the football sports, Plaza de Mayo, the government house, and the cathedral, and the congresses. They have another excursion that is a half day Tigre and Paraná River Delta tour. We have one of the Delta more.
Uh, Perdón, Pablo,
Yes,
just
yes,
one
yes,
thing. We are not actually seeing the presentation moving.
yes.
Do you see it full screen?
No.
Could you please switch to full
Okay.
screen mode? And, y en la
Now, yes, I can
diapositiva que
see.
vas, sí, yes. Ujú.
Okay,
Perdón
okay.
por la interrupción.
Uh, no, don't worry, tranquilo. Well, this is the excursion to Delta. This is one of the most important Delta in the whole world. Let me check. How can I? Okay. Well, the Gaucho is a traditional ranch tour that you can enjoy, that you can see the campo, you can see the estancia, that is the farmer, you can see carrera de sortijas, is a kind of game with the horses, and then you can taste a great barbecue. This is
Perdón, Pablo.
more about, yes,
Perdón que te interrumpa de nuevo, mil disculpas. ¿Lo puedes poner en pantalla grande, full screen?
okay, yes, yes. Now you can see.
Em,
This is carrera de sortijas, and this is the barbecue.
Oh, when he go full screen, it's frozen. I see. I see.
Okay, okay. Yes. And well, what have to tell you about the tango? The tango is very, how can I say, sexual appeal is one of our, because this is one of our traditional dance and music, is international music. I know that in all over the world, tango is known, is like Messi. It's
Erotic
similar
or
to Messi.
exotic? Is erotic or
Exactly,
exotic? Is it
exactly, exactly,
too
exactly.
exotic for Malaysian? I think.
Yes, but if you go in all the streets from Buenos Aires, in the
Yeah, yeah,
neighborhood of San Telmo, you can see a pair of people, a pair of women and a man dancing tango.
yeah.
Is great.
I like to tango. I like to tango.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
exactly. Tango is very nice. Well, in Buenos Aires, you have lots of different kind of hotels, from 5-star hotels, luxury, and 3-star hotels, and then you have another kind of hotel accommodation like apart hotels. What else? Buenos Aires has lots of saloons, lots of places to do MICE and incentives tours. Well, the second more important heritage. This is a natural heritage. Calafate is the city where are all the accommodation, where all the tourism things. But the glacier, Perito Moreno Glacier, and another glacier are about 80 kilometers from El Calafate. Perito Moreno is not the only one glacier, but Perito Moreno, what is the difference between with the other glacier is that this glacier is increasing, is growing. All the glaciers in the whole world are going back, but this is one of the, I think it's the only one in the whole world that is increasing, and it has um, a phenomenon that it go directly to a peninsula, and it makes point, and then when the imagine that it divided the lake into two portions, and one of the portions push the ice, and then it crash, and it breaks. So it is an incredible uh, to see that, to listen to the piece of ice breaking into the water. That's incredible. Well, this is the excursion that you do the full day. You have another. Well, this is a picture from a satellite, and you can see this is the Argentinian lake, where is El Calafate, and this is another lake, and here is another very important glacier, that is Uppsala Glacier. Is an incredible glacier, and these are all glaciers. Imagine, this is the third portion of the world. You have Antarctica, the Arctic, and then this part that are all glaciers. So imagine that we have to. This is one of the more important piece of glacier of the world. So you have to take care of this. Well, in Calafate also you have different kind of accommodation. The second and incredible natural heritage are the Iguazu Fall. Well, the Iguazu Fall, as you can imagine, is a river. It's a river that break into more than 200 different falls. The majority of the falls are in Argentina side, and there are about 15 falls sorry, in the Brazilian side. So when you divide it to visit this place in two excursions. One excursion is Argentina side, that is a full day excursion, because you have lots of falls to visit, and Brazilian side, that is a half day excursion. You have to cross the border. You have to cross the border to another country, that is Brazil. So you have to make immigration. In the case of Argentina, you have one of the most important places to visit is the gorge, the Devil's Gorge. That is one of the incredible places. I wanted to show you. This is the gorge. And well, this is all the landscape. Well, this is, as you can see, in the Brazilian side, is like a balcony. You can see you are on this side and the falls are here. So it's the opposite. As you can see in this slide, this is Argentina side and this is Brazilian side. So one is the balcony, Brazilian side is the balcony, and Argentina side you're inside. So in Argentina side you will get wet, exactly. So you will get wet. You have lots of accommodation, from 5-star hotels to different
Landscape,
lodges.
yeah.
And you have also, that's what's very incredible places, because you have several lodges inside the jungle. I can recommend it for people to stay on these kind of lodges. These kind of stable lodges, you open the door, go to the balcony, and you see the jungle. You can listen to the birds. You can see perhaps monkeys. You have lots of animals because you are inside of the jungle. Going back to Patagonia, as I told you, is Bariloche Lake. Bariloche Lake, as you can see, is different from Calafate is another landscape, is similar to Switzerland. And from Bariloche, you can cross to Chile. Then I'm going to show you the more important packages. Well, Ushuaia, the end of the world. This is the place where you feel like you are next to the Antarctica, like you feel you are very far away from the rest of the world. Imagine going from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia, you have to take a plane that is 3 hours plane flight. So it's very, very far away. This is the trencito, we call the trencito del fin del mundo, the end of the world train that is, I think it's 3 or 4 kilometers itinerary, but it's incredible, but because you do inside this jungle. Well, this is Peninsula Valdez. We are going to show you the whales. You are going to show you penguins. You are going to see a sea wolf, an elephant also. And well, this is the common and the most interesting package to do for the most principal attractions, the touristic attraction in Argentina. Buenos Aires, Iguazú, and Calafate. It's the common circuits, 8 days and 7 nights, because you have 2 nights in Calafate, 2 nights in, 2 nights in Iguazú, 2 nights in Calafate, and 3 nights in Buenos Aires. And you can connect it by plane because all the distance you have to connect it by plane. This is the most common when you do only Argentina. Because I know that the distance for you is a long haul destination, so you have to add another destination. This, I think, would be very interesting for Malaysian public because you do all Patagonia. You do Buenos Aires, then you go to Bariloche. You can go from Bariloche to Calafate to see Bariloche is the Lake District. Then go to Calafate to see the glacier. Then go to Ushuaia. You can include it or not because from Ushuaia there are all the cruises to Antarctica. This is the south, so from here are the Antarctica. Then go to Valdez Peninsula and come back to Buenos Aires. I think this is the most important because you can see all the Patagonia region. Yes, exactly.
Full Argentina, yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
And well, this is the most common when you combine it with different countries that we also can make it. Well, it depends on the flight because we have flights from Emirates, we have flights from Qatar, we have flights
Turkish,
from Europe. Yes, KLM. We have flights from Lufthansa, British. So
Airways,
we have several flights. Or you can, if you have not flight from Buenos Aires, you can enter to the continent by Rio de Janeiro, because Rio de Janeiro has connection to Iguazu.
Do you
So
have a good train? Do you have a lot of train infrastructure?
exactly, yes. So you have connected Rio with Iguazu, and then do the best. Buenos Aires, Calafate, and then from Calafate you can go to Machu Picchu. In this case, you have to go to Buenos Aires first to go the domestic flight, and from Buenos Aires to Lima, that is international flight. But there are some flights from our company, where our national company is Aerolíneas Argentinas, that you can connect the flight in the only one. You have not go to from the domestic airport to the international airport. So there are flights from Calafate and Iguazu that goes directly to Ezeiza. So you have to spend the connection time and go directly to Lima. Well, Lima, more or less, it's recommended to spend 2 nights in Lima and then go to Machu Picchu. I know Machu Picchu. I have visited Machu Picchu, so I know exactly uh, the quantity of time that you need to stay, because of the Machu Picchu is about
Attitude.
3,000 meters of the sea. up to the sea.
Up to,
So
yeah.
generally, it's not so good for health.
You have to take some time to
To
acclimatize.
accommodate your client.
Acclimatize.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Also, imagine when you come to Argentina, you will have the jet lag because of the our difference. So you have to accommodate. So as always, I recommend it when you come to Buenos Aires, to Rio de Janeiro, or what city you enter to the continent, to stay at least
Two
in the
weeks.
morning, exactly in the morning, doing nothing because of the jet lag.
Yeah.
That's very important. Well, this is another, and I think very interesting also because you can join another kind of Patagonia. Because in Chile, Chile is our neighborhood to the west. You have also Patagonia. Patagonia is the only region that we have is
Chile.
only region in the world. Yes, and we have with Chile. So we have connection from Bariloche to Puerto Montt, that this is Puerto Montt. You have
Mm.
in Chile region volcans,
Mm.
lakes, and of course the Ocean Pacific. And then from Puerto Montt, you have to take a plane to go to Puerto Natales. In Puerto Natales, there is another place that is go another national park that is Torres del Paine National Park. I have visited. It's an incredible, incredible place. It's incredible destination also, and it's next to Calafate. So you can cross the border and go to Calafate. So this can be join both countries and join both Patagonia region, and of course you can add it with Antarctica cruise. Also, we can add it with Antarctica cruise. Antarctica cruise is only in the Antarctica cruise are only in December, January, and February
Mm.
because of the weather.
Weather. Yeah.
Exactly.
Minus 100. Yeah. The
Yeah.
weather's minus 100, 100 in winter. Yeah. So
Exactly. Yes.
December, January, February is summer. Eh?
Exactly. And in Antarctica, imagine that you have more. Yes, I think it's about 6 months that is darkness, is night
Mm.
because of the position of the Earth, and 6 months that is day. So imagine that is 10 p.m. in the evening, 11 p.m. in the evening, 12 p.m. in the evening, 12 a.m. in the evening, and is the sun. That's incredible. Yes, the
Yeah.
opposite in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, this is another that you can do. Another, but this is very interesting. But you can add it the Atacama Desert. The Atacama Desert is in the north of Chile, and you can combine it also with the north of Argentina. It can be combined, the north of Argentina, the Humahuaca Gorge. It can combine it um, with
Atacama.
the
Yeah.
Atacama Desert. Yes, exactly, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. So for me, it's a pleasure to give me this opportunity to show you and explain about my country. I am passionate too from tourism. I'm passionate to my country. I have been in. No, I have not been in Malaysia, but I have been in Singapore. I have been in India, so I know Asia. I know that kind of people. I know that you have a different kind of traveling, uh, but I respect your culture. I know your country. Yeah, I know your culture. So I can. It's like me, an specialist of Asian tourism, um, because I know the tips from you. We have all in order Argentina all to take care of the health, about the COVID, about the environment, because we have all that we surround us is too much environment. And of course we have, like, it's a big country. We have these 47 million people, but all the people are not inside in this in one only place. So they are not only and everybody in this natural destination.
But your
For
biggest
me,
city is Buenos Aires, 14 million, 15 million,
exactly, yes, exactly.
15 million. So there is
15.
already 20% of the population in the
Exactly,
city. Yeah. What
exactly.
about how many major cities are there in the whole of Argentina?
Well, in Argentina, you have a part of Buenos Aires, you have Cordoba, that is the second big
Uh-huh.
city, that
Okay.
is a metropolitan
Santiago,
city. And
Santiago.
then you have Rio de Janeiro. Santiago is the capital of Chile.
Okay.
And then you
Okay.
have Rosario. Rosario is a big city also, but it's more industrial city. It's another kind of city.
Mm-hmm.
These are the most biggest. Then we have the middle cities like Mendoza, like Tucumán.
And the city are very far from each other.
Yes, 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 exactly. For example, to Mendoza, you have 1 hour flight time.
Mm.
Uh, from Cordoba, we have another one flight. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for Iguazu, you have 2 hours flights. So
Like
you have
Sabah, Sarawak.
there
Yeah, Sabah,
exactly.
Sarawak.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Pablo. I think
Thank you
your
for
introduction
you.
have some shortcomings. We are not very familiar with this technology where we cannot optimize the slide presentation. I think we can improve the next time. But more important is the message. We got the
Yeah.
message. The message here is about the desire of Argentina to be promoted as a tourism destination for Asia. And I
Mhm.
look at it as although I'm just been engaged as a moderator, I've been in tourism industry quite a bit for 30 over years, and then I think my job as a DMC, I also work as a DMC, although I'm an architect, but nevertheless, I think the important part here is to revive back the glory of popularity of Argentina in this region. And I think Mr. Hoye will help me out in this initiative. And I think the thing that I would like to do a closure here, I think we have about another 10 minutes. The thing that I would like to share, one is how accessible it is. You have mentioned we can go through the center of Middle East like Emirates, UAE, Dubai, Qatar, and of course Turkish airline. I think one is the best
Yes, of
new
course.
hub. We are talking about price factor and of course the duration. At least we have to capture the market that people are going there. I can see one MICE event. If there are many events that we can highlight from Argentina, we should call more events like two ways, whether bringing people to Malaysia as a hub, because from Malaysia we can go with Air Asia. I think Mr. Hoyer is familiar with Air Asia. We're picking up very cheap flights.
Yeah.
You can cover 5 countries, the whole 10 countries of ASEAN with cost of nothing. There's a flight called 999 ringgit. There is only $2 to a destination.
Exactly.
See, a flight ticket can cost you only $2, but of course there's a gimmick in the marketing of Air Asia. But nevertheless,
Mhm.
there are accessibility. And I understand a flight in Argentina, of course, is going to be, it's a big country, a big province, big continent. The major cost is the logistic part, the aircraft, airplane. But I think we can buffer it with other costs, with other attraction. You have your landscape. The most exciting part, I think, Malaysian, I tell you about Asia, is always about food. About food. And I think your meat can go very far, and meat and wine can go very far in this region. Create into a real center. We have very good big shopping mall or some big
Yeah.
enterprise entrepreneurs who are in the food industry to open their food business, food restaurants. Argentina restaurant, or we can even start with an event. In fact, just to share with you, in September there is a MIHAS, Malaysia International Halal Exhibition in September, after 2 years of defer due to a pandemic. I think this is a time. I think with Hoye, we have to work it out something to take a position in MIHAS to to create as a catalyst, because I think the more huge participants are coming in. We have to work on that basis. And I always believe in them. I have been working with them for the last 5 years. We talk about tourism, halal tourism, where we're talking about halal tourism is not about only food, about many other practices. And of course, I wish to really aggressively take this opportunity to work a plan, to work a plan,
Yeah.
and to promote Argentina as a hub into the Southern America continent. Use just I think it's a chicken egg situation. When you create that the hype, I think who does it first?
Yes.
Which country do first. Malaysia is good. We are a very small country. We happen to start very well, and of course, comparatively in our pyramid, our neighbor country like Indonesia, good example like Indonesia and Malaysia, we have 32 million. They are 300 million. We bring in 70 million people to the country 1 year. They are just started to do that. They only do Bali. That's it for the last 30
Yeah.
years. Now they're selling the whole Indonesia. It's beautiful country, huge, but they because of domestic tourism, but they did not bring the. For Argentina, of course, you live on domestic tourism, but I can see the international, especially Asia Pacific. We have two. Tourism is a gateway into commerce, into economy. That's what I always bring presented to the government of Uzbekistan when they started 1990. I said tourism is the conduit, the gateway into business. You bring the students to study exchange, and then we get transfer technology. Today we have internet. We can transfer wonders, knowledge, information, and everything. Only different is the time different, but not a problem. You are in the morning, I'm at night, so we still
Exactly.
manage. Yeah, so it's matter
Exactly.
of getting this way. I believe we can do that. I am very confident. Is Mr. Hoye can come with our group of people. Our team are dynamic enough to use this platform to promote tourism. Surely. Okay. Is there any other questions? Would there be any questions from the audience, or I don't think so. Mr. Pablo, your last word.
Yes. Well, I was listening to what you are talking about, and about halal. Not only halal food, but I think in Argentina we have too many halal restaurants. So, and I know that we can do that. So there are a big collective about Arabic people, so there will be no problem to join. Well, thanks for everybody to give me this opportunity to show my country, to show my company, to show the passion that I have for tourism, and to show you some. It's like a class, I think, like I'm a professor. Yes, but
Okay.
the first thing is that you have to teach all the travel agencies, all the
Mm.
travel agents, that where is Argentina, how to reach Argentina, and why do you have to take your passengers to Argentina. That's the
Okay.
most important
Thank
thing.
you very much. Mr. Pablo, thank you. The last word from
Thank
Mr.
you.
Hoye. I think you are the best person to do the closing because you are in Malaysia and you are very familiar on both sides. Please.
Oh, thank you very much for your kind words, Mr. Abdul Halim. Yes, we are very happy to be here to have this opportunity. It's been great listening to Pablo and to you, speaking about the tourism possibilities in both countries. As you mentioned, this is not just a one-side trade. Tourism is both sides. We need the planes to go full and be back full too. And it's a great.
With the cargo, with the
Well, and
cargo,
of course, maybe with beef, with chilled beef, it would be
and the
great for
wine.
the and wine, of course. We have some wine here. Beef, of course, too. Not as much as we would like to, but you can find Argentinian beef in Malaysia.
Really,
Unfortunately, what we lost was the direct flight. Malaysian Airlines flew to Buenos Aires with only a stop in Johannesburg, I guess. some years ago, and that's how most of Argentinians get to know Malaysia and Southeast Asia. Obviously, we know that Kuala Lumpur is a hub for people from other continents to visit Southeast Asia. So we hope to make Argentina likewise, and to receive many people from Southeast Asia that want to get to know South America. You know, it's very far, very exotic, as you mentioned before, and it'll be great for us to have you there and to enjoy our country and our culture. And you have Pablo, you already know someone in Argentina, so please feel welcome to contact us, and of course to visit Argentina. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Abdul
Welcome.
Halim. And
Thank you.
please let me express my thanks to Tenku Saiful too. He's
Yeah.
been great. And thank you very, very much for having us here today for this possibility.
Okay, we catch up again. Mr. Hoye, will you be at the hotel tomorrow? I'll be there about 10.
Yes, hopefully. Yep.
Yeah. I hope I can see you and your ambassador. I think most probably he'll be there. I would like
Mhm.
to use your good office to approach the airlines. I have a very strong airlines facilities with IATA. We have
Mhm.
flew quite a big traffic of, on airlines. So let us lobby the airlines, which we fish nicely, Qatar Airways or Emirates or Turkish. Let us fish
Mhm.
them well, and then let us replace while waiting for a Malaysian airline to initiate. I think these airlines are happy to work with us. Thank you.
Hopefully,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
Have
Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
a great night.
Thank you.
Bye, Pablo.
Bye.
Hasta
See you.
luego.
Bye. We
Thank
catch up
you.
again, huh? Bye. Bye. Thank you.